So guys, it's great to be back in person. It's been a while, and a fantastic opportunity to talk about why we're here. And most importantly, I think, we've had COVID now for over 1,000 days. We've not been able to get together. And, could we imagine that DSCOOP would not be around?
Not at all. I mean, the community that we have has been amazing. And, we held it together during the COVID pandemic. But the fact that we're all together right now has been completely re-energizing. And you can see it in the partners, you can see it in the members. It's quite amazing. I can't imagine a world without DSCOOP.
Yeah.
Well, I think that became even more relevant during COVID, right? Because, as a printer in the UK and as a representative of the printers, we needed help, right? It was a tough time, and so everybody leaned into DSCOOP. So without it, it would have been a huge hole, right?
Yeah, our members performed much better than the industry in whole, and we actually grew our membership during COVID. So, it's a testament to the power of this community and the way that they shared with each other, the way that they adapted to the changes in business and changes in industry. It's truly inspiring.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, for us, it's fantastic to get everyone together. While we were connected, as you said, it's not that we are unfamiliar, but it just the in-person experience is just really adds a layer of value. But Jon, as you said, COVID, long time not getting together, but still extremely connected. As Rick said, we grew the community, right? So we had a massive sort of influx of active members. Let's say an example from within Precision Proco, and what did your crew do to benefit from the access they have to DSCOOP?
Yeah, so one of the misconceptions around DSCOOP is that it's a one event a year, right? Because we do such a great job of events, everybody thinks that's what DSCOOP is. But DSCOOP's a year-round thing. And so actually what happened during COVID is it gave us that ability to make everyone realize it's a year-round. So my operators were on the forums, they were sharing with, we had inability to get engineers in, so there were maintenance issues and sharing knowledge. And really just from a mental health as well, talking to the other guys that were struggling in Italy and in Germany when their different periods were hitting, it was a massive help for us, massive.
Yeah. Well, and during that period I was running RPI as well, and so it helped. The DSCOOP community really helped me to build out improved supply chains. It helped me to build and adjust to distributed production. We actually grew the number of distributed partners we had during that period because we were all trying to adapt to the massive disruptions that were occurring and not knowing how to predict the future.
But what I thought was great is that now we are all back and we are all together, it took all of 3 minutes to reunite the membership, and the energy in the room and the energy in the event is just off the charts because there's this pent up need to share and to network. And I think, you say about imagine if there was no DSCOOP, I think you could see, and you can see at the events, that without it, there's such a hole in people's businesses.
Yeah. So when you mentioned that actually when you talked about expanding your partner network through that difficult time, how would you be able to do that without DSCOOP?
I don't think it would be possible because of the relationships and the colleagues that I have at DSCOOP. You understand the various subject matter experts. You understand which businesses are good at specific items. So it really makes it possible to say, oh, I've got this kind of a program that I'm trying to source. I know that Jon in the UK can do this for me. I know that I can get somebody in India to work here for me because I met them through DSCOOP. And it allows you to really build that trusted network.
The other thing as well, of course, is as the world's changed, talking to networks, as the world's changed and we need to print more local, we need to print less from the environmental perspective. There are challenges in the supply chain, all of which are really offset quite a lot by having a strong network, right? So this smart collaboration piece, you can't survive without it these days.
But both as printers, I think what I hear a lot when, as sort of the trying to make it work piece of DSCOOP, right? So because we do have a team that operates the community, is, let's say you're both competitors, right? But you're still sort of connect and collaborate regardless. I mean, is that sort of, again, do you have that type of, those relationships outside of sort of DSCOOP?
Well, no, I came out of the tech industry, for example, before I went into printing, and you do not have that kind of collaboration. You actually did not share, you'd actually try to misdirect whatever you were working on. And DSCOOP has really made digital print, and especially indigo digital printers, a unique industry in that the collaboration that gets built in this organization is shockingly amazing. It really makes a difference between success and failure, and otherwise a very tough industry.
Yeah, I think what you have to think about from a sharing and a collaboration perspective is our world is rapidly changing and has been for a long time. This is speeded up with COVID, but it's been rapidly changing for ages. And change is uncomfortable. And outside your comfort zone, you know, it's a difficult place to be. And I think what DSCOOP allows its members to do when they come along and they see it, is they realize that it's okay to be uncomfortable, because we all need to be, but actually we can help them get used to being outside that comfort zone and actually give them that, share that bit of information to allow them to grow. And I think that's really what it's about. And that's why you find that once people come, they come back time and time again, and they're involved. And the more they come back, the more they share, the more they share, the more they get out of it. And it's a circle that keeps growing. And that's what I think is the beauty of DSCOOP.
Yeah. And I think that in my new role and expanded role with DSCOOP, building out and future-proofing our members against the changes that are coming, because yes, the pandemic has accelerated change in a big way, but it's going to continue to accelerate. And the changes in our industry, utilizing AI, utilizing robotics, utilizing automation, and all of the smart technologies that are coming into play, the people who implement those well are going to be the winners in this industry, and we can help lead our members there. So,
and it's our job to make sure we do this in advance, right? So it's our job to be showing our members what they need to be thinking about 2, 3, 4, 5 years down the track, not next week, right? So not just next week.
And how do you sort of get that type of mindset within your team? Because obviously it's good if you're an executive and you run a company, but how do you get sort of, transfer that mindset and that passion that you both have into the team that you work with?
Well, I think it's very difficult with talent and bringing new recruits and new people into your business, and it's all of our responsibility to share. Giving someone your network is hard, right? Because actually it's your network, and it's your network for a reason that you've spent years trying to build. But it's essential that the next generation build their own network, right? So this is where DSCOOP, the young entrepreneur piece, comes in, where we create teams of meetings with the younger members. But we need to push more on that, and we need people to lean in, and we need more people at the events of different, from a different generation. But we have to help them build their own network, not give them our network, right? That's really important.
And how did you do that at RPI then?
At RPI, we did that with having clear sets of values and building a really strong culture. And now I'm helping other businesses do that as well. Really driving engagement between the values of the ownership and the values of the leadership, and what those are, and a clear direction of where we're headed in the future.
See, DSCOOP supports this as well, because what DSCOOP allows businesses to do is allows business owners to stop being protective of their people, stop being protective of their IP, and they learn to share.
Okay.
And a good example of that is sustainability practices, quite frankly, because here's an area where we as a industry need to improve rapidly. It's an area where we can make progress, and there's a lot of point solutions, but it's a challenging area as a business leader to put in place. So, it allows somebody like the DSCOOP organization to lead that by setting up frameworks that really help inspire the workers, because a large majority of people really want to put this first. And two, it makes it easier for the business owner to actually engage their employees to do that and be successful.
And you mentioned values, right? So, and I think that's an interesting one, because we've talked a lot about the reasons for the individual or the member companies why they should be part of this. But is there then maybe something that, on a value perspective, that's common across DSCOOP and that makes it so powerful because it's all going into one direction? Do you sense that you both share certain values that make that connection easier?
I think very much so. I think everybody, we share a value around passion. There's very few people in this industry who are not passionate about it, and certainly in DSCOOP. We share a value of collaboration, right? That's a unique thing that not a lot of industries share, but we do collaborate with each other. Jon and I will call each other and say, hey, what are you doing here? What are you doing there?
You're completely right. We're passionate, we share the value of passion, and we want to digitally, we're passionate about the digital transformation of our industry, right? And there's lots of people that need us to help them.
Yeah. And do you think also it's a fruitful environment for suppliers and anyone with the passion for that transformation, sustainability being part of that there is a place for them within DSCOOP?
Absolutely. It's an entire ecosystem, right? So none of us have all of the solutions, and everybody has a piece of it. And so the partners have a great opportunity to engage as just another member, quite frankly, and be part of this community as they collaborate. It's no longer a selling relationship, it's a partnership relationship, and that is a huge difference when you're trying to run a business.
Yep, exactly. It's the ecosystem, that's the key.
Yeah, so everyone involved basically going after
everybody
the same
involved.
thing.
Without everybody involved, it doesn't work, right? So you need collaboration around the whole lot.
Yeah. Do you think that members are more comfortable, say, within DSCOOP? Do they, no longer fearful for the future, or how am I going to solve this problem?
I think it's like most communities, the more you put in, the more you get out. So there's some people who are kind of holding back, especially as you come in, it's a new environment. And so, but you watch people within the first few hours, I think we just talked about that, pretty soon they're starting to feel comfortable, people are sharing and they're amazed. And then they say, oh, well, wait a minute, it must be okay for me to share.
The key on that is it's a member organisation run by members for the members, right? Which means we get it. So the pain I go through is the pain that Rick goes through, is the pain that other members go through. So we're all under the same pressure, and sharing those pains, as well as talking about all the positive stuff, is really important.
Do you think that sort of that vulnerability that you can demonstrate within DSCOOP, that it's not it's a bit more hidden outside of DSCOOP, within the industry, so to say?
Oh, without a doubt, yes, without a doubt. I think the vulnerability is a great word for that. People are hesitant outside of DSCOOP to share their challenges, to share their weaknesses, and I don't see that inside the organization predominantly.
Sometimes we share too much information within DSCOOP, right? But that's really important, really important.
So Jon, it's all good and fine, right? The networking, the friendships that you build, the vulnerability, but you're also running a business. So there has to be something on the bottom line that makes it worth doing all this effort that you do for DSCOOP, for your business, and also as a leader of DSCOOP.
No, I do it all for the good of DSCOOP. Okay. No, of course not, right? I have to answer to people as well in my business, and so if I spend all that time helping others, what am I doing for our business? Well, it's really simple. One, monetary value of the returns I get from working with the network. Approximately 25% of my revenue comes from relationships I've created through the DSCOOP network. Two, from an education perspective and content perspective, I could not get access to all of that for anywhere near the price of DSCOOP, right, for my whole team. My team are better because of it. Right? And fundamentally, if you look at the education piece and you look at all of our membership, it's proof that if the people who are members of DSCOOP are more profitable and print more pages than those who aren't.
Yeah, they make a higher margin.
And the partners and our sponsors are also, they sell more here at DSCOOP to the DSCOOP partners than they do at any other trade show. So, the data has clearly shown that as DSCOOP members, you are more profitable and you grow faster than the industry standard. And the data shows that our partners are able to sell more equipment as well. So, it's a very beneficial to the entire ecosystem.
Yeah, exactly. Great. Thanks, Rick. Thanks, Jon. Thank you both for being here. And then looking forward to seeing you every day at DSCOOP.
Thank you.